Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Of late, I've been receiving a lot of comments on my social media accounts asking me, or just generally saying statements like go away from Mexico, leave Mexico alone, don't make Mexico like US or Canada, and many such things. And we all know that there is a lot of hatred going on against Indians in most of the countries like US and Canada and Australia. So this made me to think and make this video as to why I think that there is so much of hatred that is increasing against Indians in most of these places. I wanted to make this video to share my views as to why I think that these hatred or this racism is increasing on Indians. So when we look back on India, like when we look back at our ancestors or even us, when we complain about youngsters saying that most of us in India, we have westernized ourselves, or we have been spoiled because of the Western culture, because of the movies, and because of the music and many such things. We always have been complaining. If you remember your childhood, you would see that your parents would have complained about this, your grandparents would have complained about this, and now as parents we also sometimes complain, saying that our kids are getting dominated by the foreign culture or the Western culture. That we do in India, even though we don't have many foreigners living in India as we Indians live in other countries. I personally think that is the main problem that most of the Americans or Canadians or Australians are having with us Indians. When they see that the local culture is being dominated by the culture of the immigrants, that is what is making them angry. That is what is creating this hatred. It's not just the jobs, because for jobs, of course, we can proudly say that we Indians are hardworking, we have the talent and we have the skill, and that is why we are being hired for the jobs. And obviously the locals cannot complain about that, but they can definitely feel bad and complain about things like their culture, which has been overshadowed by the culture of immigrants. So that is something which is really concerning them, according to my opinion. As immigrants in a foreign country, there are few things which we need to follow and which we need to make sure, so that the locals don't feel threatened by our culture. We have a very rich culture, we are very proud of our culture, and we try to keep our culture even in a foreign country, which is absolutely fine. But we should make sure that our culture is not overshadowing the local culture. That is something that we should keep in mind. So let me go through a few things that we need to keep in mind when we are living in a foreign country. The first and foremost is the clothes. Most of us, even in India, we all wear casual clothes when we go to work or when we go to office, or even at home. It's very few who really wears kurtas or kurtis or saris in back in India. But nowadays, I see, in the name of culture or in the name of preserving our culture, we have started wearing Indian clothes to Walmart or to a local market. So I feel that is something which is also irritating the locals. Yes, if you're not comfortable wearing casual clothes, and if you're someone who has always been wearing Indian clothes all your life, and you have moved to in Mexico, or if you have moved to a foreign country, then yes, go ahead and wear kurtis or kurtas, whatever makes you comfortable. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to wear a lungi or a munda to a Walmart or to airport. Nowadays, some people, just to show that they are very proud of their culture, they try to wear their lungi even in public places. So if somebody points out that why are you wearing this, they immediately say, why not, Americans wear shorts. Well, Americans are wearing shorts in their country, and that is their culture. So you cannot pinpoint that and use this as an excuse. Wear something which is decent. For example, kurtas or kurtis is fine, but you don't have to wear a munda or lungi to Walmart and airport. So this is something which we need to keep in mind. Even I am proud of my culture. I am someone who wears saris most of the times, but I make sure that I wear it for Indian programs, Indian festivals where we have Indians in the crowd. But I try to wear casual clothes, or I try to wear the clothes that are more common here in Mexico when I'm going to other places. I don't try to wear sari to Walmart. I don't wear a sari or kurta to a local market. So because if you start doing that, the locals, obviously, they feel that you're trying to bring your culture, and you're trying to build a cult here in their country. So you need to be a little careful about these things. Next, let me talk about the festivals. Here, yes, when we are in a foreign country and when we find our crowd, like we have an Indian community, we try to celebrate most of our festivals together. But celebrating a festival doesn't mean you disturb the other community, or you try to show that your culture and your festival is greater than theirs. Because nowadays I see that in the name of festival, in the name of God, we try to make so much noise in that community so that everybody knows that we are Indians and we are very proud of our culture. You don't have to do that. For example, recently I saw a video where on Ganesh Chaturthi, a group of Indians, I mean a big group of Indians, they were taking this rally with Lord Ganesha. Maybe they were taking it for the Visarjan, but they were doing it on the road. And yeah, they must have got the permission from the government definitely gives permission because they don't want to be racist, so they give the permission. But that doesn't mean that you misuse that permission. So they were making so much noise, and there was this video where the guy comments that because of these guys, I feel I'm living in India. I want my child to grow up in US, not in India. So that is something which is a genuine concern for most of the Americans, isn't it? Like we Indians living in their country, and we are trying to show our culture too much that they are scared that we are influencing their kids with our culture. Let's not do that. We are happy with our culture. We are someone who follows Sanatana Dharma. We are open for other religions, other things, and we don't force our culture on anyone, or we don't force our religion on anyone. So let's follow that. And if you want to celebrate with your group, but don't make so much noise that you're disturbing others. Earlier, back in olden days, we used to do all these rally. This is what I read somewhere, that we used to do these rallies like after the puja in the temple. We take out the god outside, and we go around the colony, or we go around that village, because there are some handicapped or there are some elderly people who can't come to the temple. So we take the god goes to them. In that's the way of saying that we take the god to all these people so they can see and they can pray to the god. That was the reason why we used to do these rallies after the puja in the temple. But that you don't have to do here in US or in other country. Even if you want to do that, do it silently. You don't have to play those heavy drums with lots of noise, and you don't have to disturb the whole community for that. Now let's come to the food. We all know that Indian food is made with a lot of masalas, and it's something which gives a delicious aroma. But this aroma is delicious only for us. The smell of the Indian food might not be very appealing to others who are living, who are with you in that office. This aroma of food, or this smell of food, is good and appealing for us, but not for others in that office or in that country. So we need to make sure that if we are taking our Indian food to our office or school, we should take something which doesn't smell very strong. So now you might say that I don't like American food, but if you are in America, you have to get adjusted to the food there, isn't it? You at least once a day, like when you're in the office, at least in the afternoon, try to eat their food, or try to take something which doesn't have a strong smell. Because when we go and heat our food in the microwave, obviously the smell spreads in the whole office, and you cannot say that they are being racist. They just don't like our smell. No, I mean, sometimes we also don't like the smell of Chinese food, or we don't like the smell of meat, and we complain about that. Similarly, they might not like the smell of Indian food, so they have every right to comment and complain because we are living in their country. So we need to be little careful. Let's not take food which has a very strong smell, especially to office or school. Let's not send Indian food which smells strong with our kids, because what happens is even the kid after some time feels ashamed, and when he's hearing such comments, he or she becomes an introvert and feels shy, and he might stop taking your food, or he might start hating your food. So these things you need to keep in mind when you're in public places. Also, we have this habit of taking packed dabbas when we go on a trip, because we don't like outside food, or because we think it's too expensive, or maybe because we feel our food is healthy. That's fine, but just make sure that your food is not irritating others, or not create you're not spreading the food everywhere, especially rice when you're eating. Make sure that you're maintaining the place clean and neat. These are few things which I feel that is creating a kind of a hatred towards us. Of course, apart from this, the population of Indians are increasing in other countries. We are definitely, the locals feel that we are taking away their jobs. But I think if we at least try to keep these things in mind, and we try to respect their culture and their country, and not try to overshadow their culture by doing too much with our culture, I think we all can live peacefully. I am a proud Indian, and I am definitely proud of my culture, but that doesn't mean that I show that in a foreign country. Even if you want to show that, do it in a silent way, or do it with your community. You don't have to walk on the roads and say Bharat Mata ki jai, and you don't have to do all that. You can do that in a very decent and in a very nice way, respecting the locals and their culture. And one more thing I wanted to add is, somewhere recently I read a post where a lady was complaining that her kids have become a complete Britishers because they don't follow any Indian culture. Well, this is another topic which maybe I'll take another video on that. But I just wanted to tell you that you are the one who decided to move out of India. You are the one who decided to come to a foreign country. So you cannot complain that your kid is not following your culture. You can teach your culture to your kid at home, but I mean, if he or she is following the culture of that country, you shouldn't be ashamed of it, or you shouldn't complain about it, because and you should not punish the kid for that, because it's not their fault. They have You brought them to this country, they have grown in this country, so obviously they will adapt to the culture of that country. But just as parents, you can just teach them our culture, and you can also tell them how to respect our culture. So I hope this video brings in some insight as to how we should behave when we are in a foreign country, by not showing that we are a threat to the local community. And I hope this will help us to live in harmony with the locals in whichever country we are living. And I hope this hatred towards Indians will soon change, and we all live with love and peace. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.